Well, if it keeps them safe, I think that, the safety is the number one key thing that we should worry about there.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? So my name is Michael Stevenson. Thank you for coming back to my channel where you can hear me babble on essentially about nothing in circles about subjects that I think are. See, listen, I'm really trying to improve on YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I feel like on my TikTok I sound different. Those videos are less. I'm trying to be less prepared on those videos. But here, not only do I sound kind of monotone, but also I just don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know if it's this room or, like I said, I just don't know. But I lose my words often. And this is not something that I usually do. I definitely don't do it in person. And I tend not to even do it on TikTok either. I think maybe I've been overthinking these ideas for so long that it feels like, well, now I have like 1,000 different things that I want to say on each subject, and I feel like I want to say them all in one video, but I can't. So anyways, I'm trying to improve these videos by trying to make them shorter and more concise and focused in on the subject at hand. So the subject at hand, of course, is child actors, child stars. And as an aside, on a not really a tangent, but just to explain, I guess you can say that in my entertainment industry series on here on my channel, I guess I have smaller series within that. And so I've been talking a little bit about AI and about how all this new digital technology that we have is potentially going to impact our industry, how it's going to impact our entertainment in a very quick manner, I guess you can say. I wanted to definitely speak on something that I think is, listen, it's more of an idea. It's more of a suggestion that I kind of have, because I think that we have to do something about this problem, because it definitely is, in my opinion, a big problem. And it's always been a big problem in the industry, but it has definitely become an even bigger problem as of late, because we have so many things that now cater specifically to children and teens. Ever since the 80s and we got that PG-13 rating, we have really, really exploited that to an extent that has never been exploited to before. The suggestion, as you probably can tell in the topic, and this might start some conversation, I don't know, but the suggestion is that I think we should finally get rid of child actors. Now, let me explain, because this is not to say that we should never have anything for children again or anything like that, or that Disney should close up shop. No. What I am saying when I say that we should get rid of child actors is that I'm saying that we should actually use the technology that we have on hand to make it so that all of the shows and all of the films and things of that nature that we have been doing for years now, make it so that we can do those things, we can still produce those things without having to have children physically be there on sets. Let me back up a little bit. In truth and in honesty, I always wanted to be a child star. I talked about this a little bit in the nepotism video that I released, and I also talked about it in another video too, that if you look at it, the majority of the industry, and again, I'm placing that somewhere well over 70%, the majority of the industry, or at least of the people who have legitimate names within the industry. So the people that you know by name, the people who have become stars, whether they are usually actors and actresses, but we also have a lot of behind the scenes people as well. The majority of those people are part of one of two categories. Sometimes some of them are part of both categories. They are either legacies, or as you guys call them, Nepo babies, or they are child stars who started below the age of, in my case, I counted that you're a child star all the way up to the age of 20. So they started before the age of 20. So I'd always wanted to be a child star. I kind of wanted to go to Hollywood when I was like 13, 14 years old and start my career then, because I always knew what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do in life. Obviously, that didn't happen. And, I do feel bad about it. I think about it almost every day. It's one of those regrets that it's like it was very little that you could, I guess, do about it, because you were in such a predicament where you're under control of other people. So, but here we are. But with that said, getting that out of the way, and I wanted to say that so that you guys know where I'm coming from, and you know that I do have a certain level of hypocrisy here that I am not afraid to share with you guys. Even though I wanted to be a child star, I say that we should probably get rid of child stars, at least in the current system that they're in, because for all intents and purposes, and when we have looked at this thing and when we studied the effect that being in the industry has on children, the effect is almost never good. Like across the board, it is routinely seen as a bad thing. The amount of child stars that we have that have come up and that have some sort of issues later on in life is kind of staggering when you think that when you consider that there really aren't like a whole lot of child stars, and yet at the same time, almost all of them come out and they have to go through some incredible struggles. Let's back up and let's say that child stars and the adults that they grow into, they are no more special or no less ordinary than any of we normal people, right? So some of the issues that they have or that they have had are issues that are very similar to just regular kids, drug use or drug and alcohol use, or becoming an addict, undergoing abuse or harassment of a adult nature, so to speak. Those things, feeling different kinds of ways about their body, how they grow into it, how they mature from being a cute child to potentially a not so attractive teenager, trying to find themselves. These things are not special. They are not something that is inherently unique to child actors, but they are, I guess, magnified as problems because the children are under the bright lights of stardom. With that said, you also have to realize and understand that these children are oftentimes put into an adult world at a much younger age than what they normally would find themselves in. Okay, so when we look at child stars and the way that they are impacted by being in an adult world, it seems like for worse or worser, the impact is not a good thing. It is almost across the board, like 90-something% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, it is a bad thing. And they talk about how they think specific effect of fame had on all of the other normal problems that teenagers would normally have. They often talk about how there is a certain level of isolation when you are a child star, because you can't really go out and do things with your friends in the same way, in the same manner. You could try to make friends within the industry, but of course, you are also competing against those same people, so it's kind of difficult. We've even had reports of two or three child stars, multiple child stars on one particular TV show, on one show, all of them together, and yet still they are pitted against each other, made to, I guess, compete against each other, whether it be for lines in a script or whether it be for some sort of like audience capture or audience loyalty and love. There's a lot of stuff that the children probably should not have to deal with in the way and shape and form that they deal with. But even with all of that said, I think that the most important and biggest aspect that I would not want child stars to deal with is the abuse aspect. The physical, emotional, and yes, the sexual abuse that these child stars are going through, and that they have talked about profusely in various documentaries. They've talked about it. There are tons of stars or adults, celebrity adults, who come out and they write memoirs talking about their struggles with various forms of abuse on these sets and things of that nature. I think that in order to try to avoid that, or to at the very least cut down on it, I think that we can use, or I'm hopeful that we can use technology in the future to stop that, or to try to eliminate it. And I think the technology that we can be able to use is deep fakes, coupled with lots and lots of CGI and a little bit of voice acting, right? So my idea for the future goes somewhat like this, is that we can have people who are, what you can have is that you can still have a child come in with their parent and be cast in something like the latest Disney TV show or whatever. And so then what they do is that they sign a voice contract, and they sign specifically an image contract. And so what happens is that for maybe a day, a week, however long it takes, they will stand in front of a camera and they'll do almost every single move, action, whatever that they can do, or that the director or producer or whoever wants them to do. They'll dance around, they'll hop around, they'll make the funny facial expressions, all of that stuff. Then, because they have a contract in which their image can be used, their likeness can be used, digital artists, CGI artists, and the people who can create the deep fakes with the AI, they can come in and they can create deep fakes for any sort of action that they want these children to do on the TV show. Like, so in one particular scene, if the kids have to do this, they can create that action. And or what you do is that you have actors who are maybe on the shorter side, so actors who can fit the adult actors, mind you, who can fit the metrics, can fit the measurements of the child actors, of the child stars. You have them come in and you have them do the whole CGI motion capture thing. And what they do is that they'll come in and they'll do all of the motion capture movements that the children would do on the actual set. And then you could just put the children, put a deep fake or put a CGI covering over the mocap so that the children don't actually have to be there. So then the children, what happens is that maybe on the weekend, because they'll have school during the regular week and they'll actually go to school, just like regular children. Whereas, you know, the system that we have now, they have to have like on-set tutors and things of that nature. You can do away with the on-set tutors and just keep what the child stars do as a weekend activity. And so, whereas everybody else maybe is going out playing some sort of sport, soccer, basketball, whatever, they spend 2 days in the week on the weekend, and they will, just like voice actors for a cartoon do, they will record all of their lines in one solid room with all of the other child actors, all the other child stars, and have the adults be in another room, and have, you know, the recording people, the director be in the booth, and they record all of that stuff so that they still are able to use their actual voices in the show. But again, the children don't have to be physically on the set. I'm hoping that we can somehow do like a hybrid of that in the future. If we can cut down on, again, to me, if we can cut down even just for one child, if we can cut it down, or we can cut it out completely, eliminate it completely, to where these children don't have to be around adults, where yes, there's always someone there, but if we're being honest, there's not really someone always looking. Okay, everybody, what's up? So the original video for this, it somehow cut off, so I don't know why it did that, but I had to record just a little voiceover to finish this video off. So basically what I was saying is that yes, we always have somebody on set who is supposed to be looking out for the kids, but let's be honest, they aren't always looking out for the kids. And then on top of that, just the industry in general being exposed to all of that stuff, it is not good, right? Like we've all seen the results of it. So any way that we can protect the kids just a little bit more, I know there's still going to be foolishness and whatnot going on, but anything that we can do to try to protect them a little bit more, I feel like we should definitely do. Now, in this video, since I had made this video, I made this video way back in April. Just a few weeks later, a movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, came out. I think it premiered at one of the festivals. And one of the big things about it is that one of the kids in there, who's, I believe, playing him as a younger character, a lot of people were online laughing about how the kid looked like he was AI generated. And at first I was like, you know what? I guess it is funny. But at the same time, I'm like, no, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is that we should be trying to protect kids. And if it means making AI generated kids, my point is that if we can use technology, if we can use AI, CGI images, if we can do that to make sure that yes, the kids can still look real on screen, but they don't have to be involved in an adult world, then I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Anyways, I don't have a sign off. What do you guys think? Hey, everybody. So while I don't have an official sign off yet, I guess I should do the whole please like, comment, share, and if you so desire and you want to see more, subscribe. But more importantly, I will ask that you please go and purchase one of my books. They are mostly ebooks, and pretty much they are all under $10. See if any of my work is actually any good, if it lives up to any of the things that I'm talking about here on my channel, specifically with the entertainment industry videos. So please go purchase my books. All of my links are down below. Thank you.